Welcome back. It's Dr. Mr. Creative Man Guy here again, and this is the next video in the series that I'm doing on creativity. This one we will be going over the third and final step, sort of final step. I'll kind of go into a little bit more on that later, but the third step of my process for creativity. And in this step, we're going to take a look at... That was my dog. She's apparently very upset that I'm making this video. So in this video, we're going to talk about the last step, which is to take the analysis that we took of our original idea and figure out how to improve on that idea. So some of the things that I talked about in the first video were the first two videos were that the part was a little too boring. It didn't have a whole lot of dynamics. It didn't really have any kind of flow to it. It was just a very straightforward part, and I'll just play it for you again so you can remember what that is. And here it is. So that's the part. Again, very simple, straightforward. I like parts of it, and the parts that I didn't like, again, are just that it didn't really flow. It doesn't have a whole lot of dynamics to it. So the first thing that I wanted to do with this was to kind of work on the dynamics a little bit. So what I did was the first idea was to just kind of play around with the pick attack, and I decided to throw in some palm muting in there just to kind of give a little bit of more of a, some difference between as you play through the part. So you can hear there I've added the palm muting and kind of accenting in different spots. It kind of brings it a little more life into the part, but it's still kind of boring, kind of straightforward. And so the next thing that I decided to do was to find a way to make it flow together better and kind of give it a bit of a, just a more of a flowing sound as you go through the part. So I decided to start adding some arpeggiated notes and kind of individual notes throughout it to help with that. So here's what I did with that. So that's, again, it kind of gives it a little bit more flow to it, and it has a pretty nice sound to it. The only real thing that I wanted to do from there was to there was one thing that was still bugging me as I played that, and it was that second chord. So when I go through that little arpeggiation kind of thing and back into that second chord, it sounds okay, but it sounded like it was in the wrong, being played almost in the wrong register. So like it sounded like that when I made that switch back to that chord, it almost sounds forced and unnatural. So this went back to the analysis step where I said it sounds unnatural. So how do I address that? And what I did from there is just I simply changed the positioning of where I was playing that chord. So instead of coming back to that chord and playing it there, I actually played it down here, which actually opens up a little bit higher register notes, at least the way that I'm playing it. in the chord, and I think it kind of opens up the sound a little bit more. So I'll show you what that sounds like in context. So. So that's kind of it. You know, I took a part that was really basic, and just by analyzing it, figuring out what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it, I was able to mess around with it until I came up with something that has a lot more kind of dynamic stuff going on with it, and it flows a lot better, and it just brings that kind of standard chord progression way more to life than otherwise would have been. So basically that's the process. So, you know, again, the first step is to just write something, you know, find a sound that you like and use it to write something that you kind of speaks to you. And the second step is to decide what you like and what you don't about it. Be honest with yourself and come up with a sort of a game plan for what you want to change in order to make it a better part. And then the last part is to apply that your determinations that you made in the analysis step and take action on that and actually make the changes that you want. So I've done that, and I'm pretty happy with the part. Now, the thing that is so great about the creative process in general, and I guess in particular this particular method, is that you can keep going. I know I say there's 3 steps, but once you're on to the 3rd step, you can go back to the 2nd step and, you know, reanalyze it. Do I still like where it's at? I may sit on this part for a bit and then come back to it in a few days and think, I could actually make this even better. And then you kind of just go through the same process over again. You say, what do I like? What do I not like? And you kind of fill in the gaps and you keep moving forward with it. And once you've kind of gone through that process a bit, it's really a very simple method to kind of bringing more life to the stuff that you're writing, I think, and hopefully you'll find it as useful as I have. So please subscribe and thumbs up this video, and especially if you like it, obviously, and let me know if it worked for you or if it's something that is working for you, and hopefully it does. And I will be doing some more videos on some of the more generic things that I have to kind of bouncing around in my head regarding creativity in the future. So in the next couple weeks, you should expect to see some more videos from me. So again, subscribe and thumbs up and comment, and I will see you soon.